In this video, I'm gonna give you 12 rip-offs, scams, and tourist traps in Barcelona next on Jaycation. What's up, Jaycationers? Welcome back to another video here in the Barcelona series. That's right, after a few years through the pandemic, we are finally back in a place I used to live for 2 years, Barcelona, Spain. And we're gonna give you 12 tourist traps, rip-offs, and scams that you may find around Barcelona. And right now we're in the hotbed of it. We're in the middle of Ramblas. I lived here for 2 years. I taught English. From what I've seen, there are a lot of scams and a lot of tourist traps and a lot of rip-offs around here. Let's do this and hit that like button. It really helps distribute it throughout YouTube. I've been asking a bunch of my friends who are locals here in Barcelona, what other scams are around town that you've seen and experienced. My roommate Sonny, he told me one. It has to do with who's your favorite soccer player and getting distracted and then getting pickpocketed. The next scam I want to talk about involves multiple types of scammers, and that's the Gypsies, the Mimes, that's right, the Mimes. And no, I'm not married. I'm trying some accessories out while in Europe. The Gypsies, the Mimes, and those people that throw up the neon helicopter looking things, they try to get you to divert your attention. While you're not paying attention, their partner or partners try to sneak up behind you. Maybe you put your bag down, they snatch your bag, or your pockets are open and your phone is exposed, and that half a second that your phone's exposed, they reach in and grab it and you don't even know. Make sure you're careful around the Gypsies that are trying to make you sign a petition. That's just a way for them to divert attention to you. And it was kind of the same thing with the person that comes up to you asking you who your favorite soccer player is. Oh, is it Messi? They're probably gonna come up to you like they're kicking a ball and they're like shrugging up against your shoulders. But what they're really doing is that they know they've scanned you already and see that we could take your wallet, your phone, or whatever else you have in your backpack. Just make sure you're aware of the Gypsies, the helicopter neon throwers, and the Mimes. The Mimes especially. So those Mimes dressed in all white, see that? That guy's just going up for a picture right now. See that? And then he'll ask for money. The next thing you know, that's a scam. That is a big Barcelona scam right there. And then he's gonna be like, give me money. Your next ripoff is something that you might not even be aware of at first, and you can even go the whole trip without even knowing. A lot of people love coming here to Europe, to Barcelona, to people watch. What better place to people watch than out at a cafe or a bar, out in their terrace, and just watching people and the cars and everything roll through. What you may not know is some of these places charge 10% for a terrace fee, even more than that sometimes. You just have to ask them. They'll tell you on the menu most of the time, and they'll also give you heads up if you're out in the terrace, if you're gonna get a fee. If you're just right inside, like right here, this table right next to me, if I'm in there, I'd be paying less. But since I'm only visiting for a couple of weeks, I wanna be out in the terrace, so I'm happy to pay whatever 3 to 10% of the terrace fee. That could be a little rip-off to you because you can go to like 10 or 15 different places, drink a coffee, have a beer, have a meal, and you're getting charged these fees and you just don't know because it's in like a foreign language. That's the terrace fee or the terrace fee. So make sure you're just aware of that. But cheers. I don't discourage you to not be out in the terrace because it's a great place to people watch. Another way of preventing yourself from being scammed in Barcelona is to know the language. In my 2 years in Barcelona, although I refined my Tagalog with the many Filipinos that I communicated with there, I didn't get a chance to learn that much Spanish. This is where today's sponsor, italki, comes in. Italki is a marketplace that connects online teachers with students for one-on-one video chat lessons in over 150 languages. What's great is that it's completely customizable and suited to your time, lessons, and needs. The best thing about italki is the payment. You pay per lesson and there's no subscription or commitments needed. What's cool is that italki actually adjusts for the time zone differences, especially if your teacher lives on a different part of the world. So I'm going to book a lesson on italki just to show you how easy it is. With italki, you get a real person that can get a feel for your comprehension. When I'm out in a restaurant in Barcelona and have casual conversations in Spanish, sometimes it's hard for me to take out the translation translation apps, and to communicate, just to truly learn. With Italki, I can learn privately and polish my Spanish face-to-face with a real person, possibly from that part of the world. Italki has over 3,000 high-quality native-speaking Spanish teachers. You can filter by country, Spanish from Mexico, Latin America, Spain, and also go by price. Lessons start at only $5 and there's no commitments, it's pay as you go. Click the link below in the description to start your language journey. Don't forget to use my exclusive promo code Jaycation 2023 to redeem an extra $5 in learning credits on your first lesson. The discounts are only available for the first 50 users and will expire soon on January 31st, 2023. The most obvious tourist trap, which is La Rambla. We are now at the very top of La Rambla, right across the street from Plaza Catalunya. We'll get into talking about pickpockets and all that later on in the video, but obviously this is probably the most pickpocketed street in the world and all of Europe. The restaurants, the stores, most of them here are tourist traps and rip-offs, albeit there are some good restaurants and places here. This is the main artery, the main spine of Barcelona, and it goes to the more popular neighborhoods. You can get to El Born, the Gothic Quarter, to the Raval area, the gateway to all the communities in Barcelona, so there really is no dodging La Rambla. But when you're here in the top of La Rambla, you gotta watch out because people are taking pictures and people are scanning you. But there's people watching me right now probably. Now I have zippers in my pockets. When you're taking pictures, make sure you don't put your camera without knowing into a pocket without a zipper, and then you're in a crowd, somebody can just bump into you and grab your phone. That's happened a number of times to people here. On the top of La Rambla, just be careful. And there are a lot of drug dealers around here. There's one corner near the Nike store that I go to. Without a doubt, every time I pass, there's gonna be somebody asking me if I want to buy some sort of drugs over there. So just watch out for that. Also at night, they're trying to entice you to go to clubs that are down more here in La Rambla. So just be careful. One time I was walking here, some girl grabs my arm and was trying to get me to go into a club. She didn't know that I lived here at the time. All the stands and souvenir shops here, you can go into the neighborhoods and find stuff for way cheaper. So don't get too excited around here because you can save some money just going into these neighborhoods. The next ripoff I do want to talk about have to do with the street performers. Now, if you're gonna indulge in a street performer's entertainment and you actually see value out of it and entertainment out of it, yeah, go ahead and tip these street performers. But here in Barcelona, there's ways that some of these street performers will try to get you and feel like they're bullying you. And that usually happens on the metro, where they'll walk around the metro carts, usually with an accordion or a guitar, and play in your cart, and then because you're in there and you can hear it, they automatically think that they can charge you or ask you for a tip. But man, I'm just minding my own business. Got my ear pods on, so yeah, just be aware of that. You know, places like this, you know, you got some street performers here, and if they're good and you like them, why not throw them €1 or two? But for the most part, some of them are kind of whack. There are really good ones out there, and over in La Rambla, they have a ton of other types of street performers, not just musicians. At the beginning of La Rambla, right near the Columbus Monument, you'll see a lot of that during the weekend going on. Guys dressed up as statues, party tricks, some dancers and all that stuff. Now those are sometimes pretty cool and worth the tip, but just beware because some of these performers will try to rip you off. Also, you're gonna see a lot of bubble throwers in areas like Parc de la Ciutadella or Parc Güell, other parts of Barcelona. If you're here with your kids or if you're enjoying a romantic stroll with these bubbles, don't think that the bubble throwers are working for free because they're also looking for tips. So there's a tip jar down there as well. I don't see that as a ripoff. I actually like the bubbles, so if I do indulge in it, I will throw them a tip. Just be aware of that, you know, the bubble throwers, they ain't free either. The next scam is the thieves. There are thieves that will try to slash your bag, or when you put down your shopping bags or your luggage, they're eyeing you. When they see the first opportunity to snag that stuff, they'll be real swift about it, and by the time you realize it, they're long gone. This also happens a lot with cell phones because people usually wear jackets when you're in places like La Rambla or Sagrada Familia or Park Güell, any touristy area. You're taking pictures, right? These thieves, they're scanning you, they're looking, and they work in groups too. They're probably texting each other. You know, they give each other little signs and gestures to see like, hey, this person's not paying attention. You take a picture, you put your phone in your jacket for half a second while you're not paying attention, boom, they bump into you, or not even bump into you. They just reach in your pocket and it's gone. I've met about 3 or 4 different people in the 2 years that I lived here, visiting from the UK, visiting from the US, and their phones got snagged over in La Rambla. So be careful, be very vigilant. I still have that money belt, or I wear pockets with zippers on them, or I'm just really careful and I know where my phone is at all times, and I know where my wallet is as well. I'm wearing my money belt right now as we speak. Las Ramblas is the biggest area for pickpocketing in the world. It's not just there, it's all over around Sagrada Familia, unfortunately, around Plaza Catalunya. You can go up to Park Güell and it gets crowded and just enough for people to distract you and bump into you, or over in the Gothic quarter or El Born. You get what I'm saying. What I do to combat this is, when you're traveling, buy a money belt. Put this under your pants. You can keep all your money, credit cards, passport, everything. It just clicks on to your waist, and you know that it's under your garments and ain't nobody gonna touch you there. And if they are, and they take something from you, it's kind of your fault, right? And another thing that I do is I bring pants that have zippers on the pockets. So I'll put my wallet in my zipper pockets right here. Put my phone in the zippered pockets. You're good to go. Extra layer of security. So to combat those pickpockets, I always love wearing these zippered pants with me when I'm traveling. Your next ripoff happens here in the Marina area off of Via Olympica by the beach, and it's the nightclubs here. Nightclubs here are expensive. Bottle service is pretty much not quite Vegas prices, but pretty expensive for Europe. And when you get in there, and if you're a guy, there's 90% dudes. If you're a girl, there's 90% dudes, but there's no good ratio. You can get on guest lists, but you gotta get into the party early. Gone to all these places, Choco, Pacha, and Opium, and they're all right. You know, if you have somebody from out of town and you're living here in Barcelona, maybe one night if they've never been here, just to see how the party scene is. And these do stay up till 7 to 9 o'clock, but it's gonna cost you. And if you do get on the guest list, it's only free until like early at night when nobody's there yet. And then when it starts getting poppin', even though you're on that guest list, they're gonna charge you like 30 euro just to get in. You know, you don't wanna mess with the bouncers and then the language barrier if you don't speak Spanish or Catalan. On the beach, it's really nice, but alternatives. There's clubs over in Diagonal like Luz de Gas and a few other clubs there, like Samba clubs I've been to, and they're more local and more cool to go to, more relaxed. You're gonna be spending a hefty price. I like to just go to a bar and people watch. I usually hung out in Bar Estudiantil and just drank there and hung out with friends, and just, I like to talk, and the music here is super loud. But if you're looking to party, this is the place. It's just gonna cost you. If you're finding value out of this video so far, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I do have a library of Barcelona videos when I lived there from 2016 to 2018. You can check those out. But these new ones, hopefully they help you with a little update with my most popular videos, and consider subscribing. And now back to rip-offs, tourist traps, and scams in Barcelona. The next scam you do have to watch out for around Barcelona, especially in all the tourist parts, especially around these clubs on the beach, on La Rambla, are the drug dealers. First of all, say no to drugs. Second of all, every time I'm in La Rambla, somebody says, sheesh, weed, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, no. The same thing happens here on the beach while you're partying. There's dealers out here. There's people trying to sell you beers, and you're actually not supposed to drink those beers on the beach, but people do anyways. I'm just talking about the beers, okay? So they sell the beers here for like 1 to 2 euro. You can get these cans for cheaper in the convenience store, but I guess, you know, you're paying for it because of convenience. You're paying 15, 20 euro a drink at these clubs, and you go outside and a beer is like $1 to $2, but they're selling those things illegally. Take it for what it's worth, but yes, watch out for the narcotics dealers. Some can be busts, some could be working in cahoots with the police. Sometimes they give you fake stuff, but also no to drugs, man. No to drugs. Next on the list for rip-offs, tourist traps, and scams are the restaurants in very popular tourist areas like La Rambla. And we are currently walking through some, and if they have to lure you in by asking you to come in, and they're like getting all touchy-feely and salesman-y, probably not the greatest place to go, especially over by La Barceloneta, by the beach. There's restaurants just like that. This can be avoided if you just do your due diligence, and you watching this video is kind of a first step to that, because you're learning more about how to make your experience visiting Barcelona a little better by expecting certain things to happen and learning from this video. So, you know, if you go on TripAdvisor, you watch my top 5 foods in Barcelona, you'll find out what are the better restaurants. And just because a restaurant is in a touristy area doesn't mean it's bad. Ciudad Condal, which is my favorite restaurant in all of Barcelona, beginning of Rambla de Catalunya, which is a huge tourist street with a lot of restaurants, but it's still my favorite restaurant. Just do your due diligence, check out the internet, check out the reviews, and make a decision for that. Most people that come here don't plan anything, and they fall into these traps, these tourist traps, because they see, oh, we're in La Rambla, or we're here at La Barceloneta. Believe me, my first time here, I got a $20 sangria at La Barceloneta because I was so excited, when I could have probably gone somewhere else and got it for half the price, and a place that's just as nice. Make sure you just watch out for the touristy restaurants. The next tourist trap we're gonna talk about is one of my favorite places in all of Barcelona, but it could definitely become a tourist trap, especially if you do the museum tours. They can cost you anywhere from $24 to like $139, depending on what type of package and experience you want. There's packages where you can go on the field, take pictures with trophies, go check out the locker room, and do a lot more things. They're just all add-ons. Now, if you're a super fan and it's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing, definitely go do it. But if you're here just to want to see the stadium, you can actually come here for free, check out the store, check out the surroundings here, and it's a great place to just take in. If you're to come here and get food, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend eating here at like the Barca Cafe. It's a little more pricey. Another thing that is also a ripoff is all the counterfeit Barca gear all around town, whether it's in La Rambla, Parallel, Raval. They have stores there where they have fake Barca gear. Even just outside of here, they have fake Barca gear. Now, if you want the authentic Nike stuff like me, I always got to have authentic Nike. I got this directly from Nike. They do have the Barca Mega Store here. They also have Barca FCB Botigas over in La Rambla, Plaza Catalunya. They're all over the place. So if you want to get some official Nike Barca gear, make sure you go to an official Barcelona store, or like a El Corte Inglés, they have them as well. So when I talk about shorts with zippers, boom. These really help out. I have a lot of these, so it's time for me to get a new one, but shorts with zippers, that helps you, especially when you're trying to be secure. I've also seen a lot of you commenting on one of my old FC Barcelona videos about trying to get a hold of Alex. Well, I haven't talked to him since before the pandemic, so he could very well be still selling tickets to games. Just to be safe, I would say go directly to FC Barcelona on their website or at the ticket office. Usually the day of the game they have tickets. Just keep checking. If you really want to go to the game, plan ahead of time. Just do it officially through FC Barcelona. That's your best bet. You never know with some of these places that say they're secondhand tickets, especially over at these stores that sell fake merchandise. You never know if they're real or not. Don't take the chance. If you're coming here to watch a Barca game, make sure you just get it directly from FCB. The next tourist trap that I want to talk about would be these city buses, the hop-on, hop-off buses. They are alright, I guess, if you're strapped for time, or if you have mobility issues, if you're older and you just don't want to walk around. They just are pretty costly. If you just use the metro or you use the regular bus, you can get a T10 or a 24-hour pass or 48-hour pass, and you're gonna save a lot more money. A T10 is only about under €8. As long as you map out the destinations that you're going to and you want to see here in Barcelona, you'll be able to get to them fairly quickly, especially down in the metro. Now, it's not going to be as scenic as a hop-on, hop-off bus, and if you're only here for, let's say, I don't know, 12 to 24 hours, this might be a good bet if you've never seen Barcelona before and you just want to sink it in and stay outside above ground. I feel like these city buses are tourist traps. My roommate Sunny was telling me there's also a scam where there are people that sell waters, Coca-Cola, beers illegally on the streets. You give them a big amount of money, like €100 or €50, and then they tell you you have change, and then they try to do the whole bait and switch, saying that, oh no, never mind, I got this much bills. They start to make you feel confused and dumbfounded, and then next thing you know, you're out like €35, €40 because you're trying to convince this person that you didn't get the exact change and they're the ones that are wrong. If you are coming here, you don't really need to withdraw money. I spent like $7.50 on transaction fees just to take out money yesterday, and I almost got to the whole trip without taking out euro, but I got a haircut and I had to give my barber some money. If you have your credit card, always use the euro conversion when you're buying at stores. Your bank will always have a better rate, and it's November of 2022, and right now the euro and the dollar is almost 1-to-1, not quite there. Always use your credit card and use the euro when they ask you en dollar or en euro. Say en euro. Alright, Jaycationers, if you enjoyed this video, check out this Barcelona classic, my most popular video on YouTube, top 5 foods to eat in Barcelona. I'm also doing a 2023 update version of it, but go check that one out in the meantime. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. And in the words of Jaycation, stay traveling, Barcelona. Let's go! Vamos!